Welcome to Chronatma, where we dive deep into the mysteries of the mind and uncover truths that might just blow your socks off. Tonight, we're tackling a question that's probably crossed your mind more than once, especially after a particularly wild dream. Where exactly does your consciousness go when you drift off to sleep? Is it just chilling out, recharging its batteries? Or is it off on some cosmic adventure, rubbing elbows with interdimensional beings and solving the universe's most perplexing riddles? Let's be honest, the standard explanation of sleep as mere physical and mental recovery feels a bit underwhelming, doesn't it? If it's just about resting, why does our mind conjure up entire realities filled with vivid events, conversations, and emotions that feel more real than your morning coffee? There has to be something more profound happening here than just hitting the snooze button on your brain. For centuries, sleep has been viewed as a period of inactivity, a nightly shutdown where our bodies and minds power down. But if that were truly the case, why is our brain still buzzing with activity, sometimes even more so than when we're wide awake? It's like your computer going into sleep mode, but secretly running a supercomputer simulation of the entire universe. During sleep, especially in the REM, rapid eye movement, stage, the areas of the brain associated with imagination and emotions become incredibly active. This is in stark contrast to the decreased activity in the prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for logic and decision-making. So, while your body is getting its beauty rest, your brain is throwing a full-blown rave, complete with dazzling visuals and intense emotional roller coasters. These vivid images and the profound emotional connections we feel to our dreams aren't random or superficial. They're the direct result of these brain regions kicking into high gear, taking us on journeys into uncharted territories of our consciousness. It seems that during sleep, our consciousness doesn't just shut down, it transforms, entering an expanded state of awareness where the brain continues to work, connecting and organizing aspects of our inner reality. It's not just resting, it's reorganizing, recalibrating, and perhaps even creating a new reality on a level our conscious mind can't quite grasp when we're awake. So, sleep isn't just a simple disconnection. It's a phase of intense activity and transformation, where our consciousness undergoes a process of renewal and perhaps even expansion, transcending the dimensions we can perceive in our waking state. But why does the brain maintain such intense activity when it's supposed to be resting? One of the most intriguing mysteries surrounding consciousness during sleep lies in the production of a substance called DMT, or dimethyltryptamine. This compound, famously known for causing hallucinations when taken in high doses, is also naturally produced in the brain, especially during REM sleep. What many don't realize is that DMT isn't just linked to psychedelic states. It appears to be deeply involved in creating the experiences we have during sleep. The release of DMT might help explain the intense and bizarre sensations we experience in our dreams. Visions of other worlds, encounters with impossible beings, or landscapes that defy logic could all be manifestations of DMT at work. In other words, what we experience during dreams might not just be basic hallucinations. It could be a gateway to an alternative reality fueled by this natural compound produced by our own brains. This leads us to a fundamental contemplation. If DMT is capable of creating such profound experiences, to what extent are our dreams merely hallucinations, or are they perceptions of another state of consciousness? This isn't just a fun thought experiment. It challenges our very understanding of reality and the nature of our own minds. Are we merely passive observers in our dreams, or are we actively participating in the creation of these alternate realities? The implications are mind-boggling. If our brains are capable of generating such complex and immersive experiences, what else are they capable of? And what does this mean for the nature of reality itself? Perhaps the line between what's real and what's a dream is far blurrier than we think. Perhaps our dreams are not just random firings of neurons, but glimpses into other dimensions, other possibilities, other versions of ourselves. It's a thought that's both exhilarating and a little terrifying, isn't it? It suggests that our consciousness is far more expansive and capable than we give it credit for, and that the waking world is just one small slice of a much larger, more mysterious pie. One of the most intriguing phenomena related to the nature of consciousness during sleep is precognitive dreams, those in which a person sees a future event that later comes true in reality. There are numerous reports of individuals experiencing vivid and detailed dreams to the extent that when the dreamed event occurred, it didn't seem like a mere coincidence, but rather a premonition of something that hadn't happened yet. One of the most famous historical cases involves Abraham Lincoln, who dreamed of his assassination before he was actually killed. The accuracy of the dream, the astonishing details, and the tragedy that followed suggest that his consciousness during sleep might have accessed something beyond immediate reality, something outside the temporal order we know. This type of experience is not isolated, raising an important question about the nature of consciousness. What does it mean for consciousness? Perhaps, while we sleep, our mind is not bound by the linear time we experience in the physical world. Perhaps, at a deep level, our consciousness can access information that transcends chronological order. It's like your brain has a secret Wi-Fi connection to the future, and sometimes it downloads a sneak peek. Imagine dreaming you're late for an important meeting, only to wake up and realize your alarm clock decided to take a vacation. Coincidence? Or a subtle nudge from your sleeping self, trying to give you a heads up? The humor here lies in the mundane reality clashing with the extraordinary possibility. We often dismiss these occurrences as mere chance, but what if they're whispers from a deeper, more connected part of our being? Another fascinating phenomenon related to the nature of consciousness during sleep is sleep paralysis, an unsettling and often terrifying experience that occurs when a person wakes up during sleep but cannot move or speak. The sensation of being awake but with the body stuck in a state of paralysis creates an uncomfortable experience, often accompanied by the feeling of a threatening entity in the room, as if someone is present or even on top of the person. This feeling of not being alone during sleep paralysis is one of the reasons many believe they are being watched by an unknown entity or force. The traditional scientific explanation views sleep paralysis as a simple neurological disorder that occurs when the brain wakes up before the body, while the body remains in the paralyzed state that occurs during REM sleep to prevent us from physically acting out our dreams. But what is observed by many individuals who suffer from this phenomenon goes beyond this simple explanation. During sleep paralysis, many report feeling a transitional state between reality and dreams, where the two worlds meet. The presence of figures or shadows and the feeling that something invisible is watching us create a sense of detachment from physical reality, raising an intriguing hypothesis. What if sleep paralysis is not just a brain malfunction, but a transitional moment for consciousness? Perhaps in these moments, consciousness temporarily leaves the body and enters another state of awareness, or even accesses a parallel reality. Some link sleep paralysis to astral travel or an expanded state of consciousness, where the boundaries between the physical body and consciousness become less clear. Are we closer to another dimension in those moments? Is it possible that these uncomfortable experiences are more than just neurological glitches, but glimpses into an expanded awareness that we cannot fully comprehend while we are awake? It's like your brain is trying to load a new operating system, but it gets stuck halfway, leaving you in a bizarre limbo where you're awake enough to panic, but not awake enough to move. And then, just to spice things up, your mind decides to throw in a shadowy figure or a creepy presence. Because, being paralyzed isn't terrifying enough on its own. The humor here comes from the sheer absurdity and terror of the situation, juxtaposed with the profound implications of what it might actually be. What if these aren't just hallucinations, but actual encounters with entities or glimpses into other realms? It's enough to make you want to sleep with the lights on, isn't it? Astral travel and lucid dreaming are common topics in discussions about consciousness during sleep. Individuals who experience these phenomena often describe a sense of freedom and an expansion of consciousness that transcends the limits of the physical body. In astral travel, consciousness can separate from the physical body, allowing it to explore other worlds or non-physical dimensions. These experiences are often associated with feelings of freedom and deep connection. Although science is skeptical of these practices, reports from individuals across different cultures suggest that consciousness appears to operate in ways that go beyond what we can comprehend with our logical minds. As for lucid dreams, these are moments when an individual realizes they are dreaming while still immersed in the dream. In this state, the person can exercise control over the dream environment, change scenarios, or consciously interact with elements of the dream. This phenomenon demonstrates the human mind's ability to access a higher level of consciousness, where we are not just observers, but active participants in shaping our reality. This might open the door to questioning the limits of consciousness. If we can be conscious and act within a dream, isn't that proof that consciousness is not confined to the physical body? These experiences can be considered gateways that allow us to access alternative worlds or deeper layers of our mind. They challenge our traditional understanding of consciousness and invite us to reflect on the nature of what we are. It's like your brain suddenly hands you the remote control to your dream. Want to fly? Done. Want to fight a dragon? No problem. Want to give your boss a piece of your mind without getting fired? Absolutely. The humor here is in the sudden empowerment and the playful possibilities that open up when you realize you're the director of your own dream. It's a liberation from the passive role we usually play in our dreams, and it hints at a much greater potential for our consciousness than we typically imagine. These experiences might open up a field for us to question the true limits of consciousness. If we can be conscious within a dream and control what happens in it, this might indicate that consciousness is not limited to our physical body. These experiences might be gateways to other worlds or deeper layers of our mind, and they challenge our traditional understanding of consciousness and invite us to think about the reality of what we are. As for time as we know it seems fixed and unchangeable when we are awake. But during sleep, this perception changes in mysterious ways. Many report feeling that a dream lasted for hours, even though reality indicates that only a few minutes have passed. This phenomenon suggests something deeper about the nature of our consciousness and how it interacts with time during sleep. In dreams, time seems to expand or contract depending on the intensity of the experiences we live. A simple moment in a dream might feel like it lasted an eternity, while many events might pass in seconds. The contradiction in our experience of time raises questions about the linearity of time we experience in our waking state. The phenomenon that occurs in dreams challenges our understanding of how time works. In dreams, time does not seem to be fixed as we believe when we are awake. One moment in a dream might feel like it stretched into hours, while a long event might pass in a few minutes. This phenomenon questions the nature of time in our consciousness during sleep and the mind's ability to modify its perception of time in parallel with our dream experiences. This phenomenon is not only related to time, but also to the emotions and feelings that linger long after waking. We often feel strong effects from our dream experiences, as if time has transcended the duration of the dream itself. This makes us wonder, is time as we know it merely a construct in our consciousness, or is there a deeper energy that might influence it? If time in dreams is not linear, what does that mean for our consciousness? Do we perceive time in a more flexible way when we are in a state of complete relaxation, like sleep? And during sleep, do we transition to a form of perception that allows us to actually experience time in a non-traditional way? This discrepancy in time between dream and wakefulness opens the door for us to question the true nature of the reality we live in. If time in dreams can expand or contract depending on the experience, does that mean that what we see and perceive in our waking life is just a small part of a much larger experience? Are we confined to a limited perception of time due to our waking state of consciousness? And if dreams extend across time in a nonlinear way, what does the world of dreams hold for us in terms of parallel or alternative temporal dimensions? This suggests that we may not be confined to just one time. Perhaps we live in a network of multiple times that we can access in a certain state of consciousness. This idea excitingly aligns with the theory of multiple universes, which states that there are many universes or parallel worlds that may exist at the same time, where time can take many forms. Do we access parallel universes or other temporal moments of our lives in dreams? These experiences might actually be windows through which we glimpse other states of existence. This theory of multiple universes might help us understand how dreams can be more than just random or imaginary experiences. If dreams are gateways to parallel universes, then they might be more than just a reflection of our psychological state. Dreams might be places where we meet other versions of ourselves with parallel temporal moments. Perhaps these parallel universes are not just imagination, but real components of reality that we only see when we leave the boundaries of our usual consciousness. It's like your brain has a built-in time machine, but it only works when you're unconscious. You could be living out an entire alternate life in a dream, only to wake up and realize you still have to pay your taxes. The humor here is in the grand, cosmic possibilities clashing with the mundane realities of waking life. It's a playful way to explore the profound implications of nonlinear time in dreams. From a spiritual perspective, interpretations of these phenomena vary across many cultures. In many traditions, dreams are believed to be more than just reflections of our daily lives. They are messages or visions from other realms. Some spiritual traditions suggest that we leave our bodies during sleep and travel to different worlds, where we communicate with unseen beings or forces. If dreams are gateways to these realms, then we might be able to access information or experiences that completely transcend what our conscious mind can perceive while awake. These ideas prompt us to question the meaning of existence. If dreams carry messages from other realms or parallel universes, what does that mean for our concept of reality? Do we live only in physical reality? Or are there other dimensions of existence that intertwine with our daily lives, of which we are unaware? Are our dreams merely a reflection of the subconscious, or are they an opportunity to interact with deeper levels of existence? One of the fundamental questions raised by these contemplations is, are we truly living in time as we know it? If time can expand or contract in dreams, then is time as we experience it in reality merely a construct or a creation of our consciousness? Perhaps time is something flexible that consciousness can shape as needed, especially when we transition to other states of consciousness, such as sleep. These questions open doors for us to a deeper understanding of the nature of time. If consciousness can distort and modify time in dreams, does that mean that time in reality is not fixed as we believe? Could time be merely a framework for our limited perception? And are we trapped in a linear temporal system due to our waking consciousness? Perhaps time transcends being a fixed entity and is adaptable to different levels of consciousness. This also leads us to question the nature of reality itself. If dreams offer us glimpses into parallel universes or alternative temporal dimensions, does this mean that our reality is just one layer of many possible layers? Is what we see and experience just one facet of many different sizes of reality that we can access if we expand our consciousness? If reality is not fixed, and if there are multiple layers of existence that we can access through different consciousness, then this reshapes our understanding of human nature and existence itself. We may not be confined to this physical reality we see, but we are capable of accessing other dimensions of existence in certain moments of consciousness. This opens the door to thinking that every experience we live, whether in wakefulness or in dreams, might be just a part of a wider and more complex network of existence. When we think about this, we begin to question the nature of the reality we live in. If dreams offer us glimpses into other worlds or parallel universes, then we might actually be in contact with those worlds without knowing it. These worlds might be more than just imagination or conception. They might be part of a larger network of existence that connects everything together. If dreams offer us glimpses into parallel universes or other worlds, this raises questions about the nature of human consciousness. Perhaps we are not just observers in this reality we live in, but we are also participants in a wider network of existence where different dimensions intertwine. Our conscious mind may not be able to perceive these dimensions in the waking state, but in moments of deep relaxation, like sleep, consciousness can expand and experience these different dimensions. These experiences, whether in dreams or during other states of consciousness, might be the way through which we can access a deeper part of ourselves. And in these moments, we might be able to communicate with invisible aspects of reality, aspects that we cannot access in the normal state of consciousness. What we consider a dream might actually be a living experience of other dimensions of our existence. If dreams give us the opportunity to access invisible dimensions of reality, this opens a door for us to question whether these experiences are part of a broader perception that we cannot grasp in wakefulness. Can human consciousness communicate with other universes or with other versions of ourselves in certain moments of consciousness? Perhaps these moments are when we can access a deeper truth about ourselves and the world around us. Dreams might be more than just random images or scenes related to our thoughts and feelings. They might be messages from deeper parts of our consciousness or glimpses of what exists beyond the boundaries of our physical experience. And in every dream, we might be uncovering a part of this great mystery that surrounds existence and consciousness. What we experience during sleep might be more than just temporary experiences that disappear upon waking. If dreams represent a window into other worlds, then these experiences might be reminders to us that the reality we live in is only a narrow part of the larger reality. Perhaps every dream is an opportunity for a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us, and to connect with a part of consciousness that we did not realize before. These visions that we experience during sleep might be messages from the subconscious or from parallel universes, reminding us that we do not live only in this physical world, but we are part of something much larger. Every dream might carry within it signs about the path we are taking in our lives, or even glimpses of choices and challenges we might face in the future. If dreams are gateways to other worlds, then perhaps the way we deal with our reality and wakefulness is also just one of many ways that consciousness can experience existence. We may be confined to this physical reality that we see with our eyes, but this does not mean that it is the only reality. In every dream we live, there is an opportunity for a deeper understanding of ourselves and the dimensions that swim in our consciousness, and those that we cannot access except when we close our eyes and allow our minds to travel across the tangible boundaries. If dreams show us parallel worlds or perhaps visions of other dimensions of our lives, then that might mean that human consciousness is not limited to the present only. Our dreams might be the passage through which we cross to other dimensions that open doors for us to understand our past, our present, and even our future. These moments that we witness in sleep might be more than just feelings or vague symbols. They might be a kind of connection with other aspects of ourselves, or even with the universes that parallel the universe we live in. The human mind might have the ability to access these dimensions during sleep, where human consciousness does not seem to be limited to the world we know, but rather goes beyond physical boundaries and plunges into moments of expanded perception that transcend our ordinary understanding of reality. If dreams represent a window into parallel universes or invisible dimensions, then this indicates that human consciousness is not limited by the boundaries of its physical body or its own time, but rather consciousness can experience multiple dimensions of existence in certain moments of rest or deep relaxation, such as sleep. These experiences that we go through during our sleep might be more than just temporary experiences that disappear upon waking. They might be profound insights into the nature of reality, offering us glimpses into realms beyond our ordinary perception. The humor in this section comes from the sheer wonder and slightly overwhelming nature of these concepts. It's like your brain is a cosmic explorer, venturing into uncharted territories while you're blissfully unaware, only to return with cryptic messages that leave you scratching your head over your morning coffee. It's a playful way to highlight the vastness of consciousness and the limitations of our waking minds. It's a reminder that there's a whole universe waiting to be explored, right there in your own head, every single night. So, next time you wake up from a particularly strange dream, don't just dismiss it. Perhaps your consciousness was just on a secret mission, gathering intel from the multiverse. And who knows what secrets it might bring back next.